There we go. We're live. Don't anyone say cunt straight away.
Oops.
Oops. Introduce yourselves. Steve, you can go first.
I'm Steve. You can call me Sandwich. You can call me Sven. You can call me really whatever you want. I'm a co-host of the podcast called the Ranting and Raving Podcast. Basically, me and my co-host Chris, we just yell about sports, movies, and music and whatever gets us ramped up. And we also enjoy cussing. So it's fun. You should check it out.
I'll be honest with you. I did check out the show and I love the show. It's actually a great show. So
Awesome.
definitely got a downloader for life. You guys do an amazing job on that show.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate that, especially coming from you guys. You've been around the block a few times.
Don't tell my wife that. She might get a little bit anxious. Just saying.
Yeah,
I am CJ Ripka, and I do host Raw and Real and Grit and Grace TV. Well, I'm a co-host on Grit and Grace TV. My cohort, Lynn Brunette, she's sitting up there in the wonderful country of Canada right now and probably saying, what the hell are you talking about? But anyway, that's a little bit about me. I'm in the Midwest, Rapid City, South Dakota, coming to you from the Saloon 7 studios.
Yep. I'm Drew. I'm here every fucking week. Not one of us is one of the people that was advertised.
Yeah. Right.
He's
Just
playing,
me, I guess.
He's playing basketball right now. So good luck.
You know, I got to admit, I've been on half as many shows as you have.
Yeah. You actually have.
So do you have a percentage of this now?
50% sounds good, like a good number for me.
It's like, and I think you've been on my regular podcast twice.
Yeah, Terra Firma a couple of times. Yeah, one special episode where we just got Blitzkrieg drunk, and then another episode where we didn't get drunk, but we had a great conversation, and I met two amazing independent filmmakers. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yep, that was probably the one roundtable I've done so far where it was a bit fucking rocky at the start, where everyone was trying to feel each other out to see what you could and couldn't get away with.
Man, I was like all into that one. That was fun. I enjoyed that one, especially when we started giving the dude from Chicago a little bit of shit.
Yeah,
about dancing on the stripper pole. That was pretty epic.
Being a typical host, I just fucking sat back and let the nervousness and anxiousness build amongst everyone. Well, I'm sitting there like, I don't know what the fuck to do.
I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what you want to do.
I can't remember what the topic was, but was it the greatest horror characters or something in the last 30 years?
Yeah. Well, it was in the last decade, but then we expanded it because all of us are old as fuck.
Yeah.
And we don't do the new shit. So we just went to the old stuff.
Yeah, but the last 30 years, isn't that like all of the good horror characters?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're literally only cutting out like 1920s Nosferatu. Like that's the only thing you're not talking about when you say last 30 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
for some characters, they had to actually do sequels to make them count, was the only thing.
Oh, okay. All
So we
right.
had to cheat that way as well.
No
and,
one-
we never agreed on anything.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody had a different character that they kind of gathered to, and that was what was fun about it. Is everybody kept talking about these other characters, and then the other person would talk shit about the character that they just freaking said they liked.
I used to just watch the I guess it was like a comedy vampire movie. It's called What We Do in the Shadows. You heard of that one?
Yeah.
It was great. I love that. That was that's how a vampire movie should be done. It was actually really funny.
I just watched a porno by the same name. It's funny you mentioned that.
Sounds a bit rapey. What We Do in the Shadows in that context.
Well, there's chloroform involved in the. somebody dressed up like Wonder Woman or something like that. I don't know.
If a vampire bites the neck and drinks the blood of somebody who just got chloroform, what does that have an effect on them? Because they undead, it doesn't matter.
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Drew, you have the horror podcast.
I know fuck all about horror. I think we've basically established that on the show.
I wish I had an accent. Like when you hear me talk, do you hear an accent?
Yeah, you sound American.
Yeah, okay. Stupid American accent. I wish I had a cool one like that where you say something and it actually sounds like intelligent and like you know what you're talking about. Not just like an American accent where I butcher words and other.
What are you talking about? The Scottish are the rednecks of UK. I mean, come on.
I know, and it's badass. I love it.
I think I only did about 2.5 years of fucking high school or something.
Robin Williams had a whole bit on that too. Like this
About
guy,
golf?
you could barely understand them sober, and then once they're drunk, you have no idea what the fuck they're saying. Like
The best thing is, even when you're Scottish, there's different parts of Scotland you can't fucking understand. Like anyone from up north, I don't have a clue what they're saying.
really?
Yeah.
So those are the hillbillies, the up north ones.
Yeah, they're the ones that are basically fucking sheep and yeah.
For us, we call that Montana, but whatever.
We call that Aberdeen.
Educational too.
Yeah.
Learn me a thing or two.
Yeah. You go up north, you won't learn much.
Learn how to fuck a goat, apparently.
Yeah.
They've got a Montana sheep kit. It comes with high boots and Velcro gloves. I'll send you some so you can give them away up there. Maybe you can make some money off those fuckers up there.
Like the bear fucking suit from Super Troopers.
Excuse me, bear fucker.
And he's just
Yeah. Yeah, that's the old joke about Aberdeen is what you call 5 sheep tied to a tree, a brothel.
I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to try to do it in a Scottish accent too.
Just say fuck a lot. That kind of covers you if you try to sound Scottish.
You can do that.
Say something derogatory about English people as well while you're at it. That usually helps.
That'll sell the authenticity.
So, let's see if we've got any questions or anything coming to us yet. Not
Yes, I
seeing
did
it.
my own makeup.
For you.
Yeah?
Yeah, what the fuck is a haver?
I was going to ask you
pretty
to
much-
you stole my show notes.
Sorry,
It's
man.
basically when you're havering, it's basically 2 people or more talking shit, gibberish, gossip, that type of thing.
Nice.
Well, hell, we learned another new thing here. We can use that here in the U.S. We're going to take that and bring that here. That is the newest import from Scotland.
Absolutely.
What I love is I approached a couple of like these fucking like business guru people to come on it because I wanted to bring them on and just take the piss out of them, right? That was going to be an episode. And they were like, so what does the haver mean? And I was like, oh, it's to do with being a business guru in Scotland. That's what it's called here. Just talking shit to them.
Do you see how far you can push them and their professionalism before they like just snap?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring them on and go, so what business do you run? How did you make it successful? Is it successful? And then show me facts that prove it's successful. Basically what I say to any podcast guru. How come every podcast guru show has fuck all downloads? You noticed that? No one listens to them.
Right.
There's only
But where do you get off like labeling yourself a guru of anything? Is unless somebody else like says it to you. That's like giving yourself a nickname.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. You can't give yourself a nickname like Ripper or something like that. That's just fucking retarded. I mean, where the fuck did that come from? You know, I love these guys though. They come out there. They've been podcasting for an entire year. They've got this shit figured out. And I'm gonna be a fucking coach. I can teach somebody how to run a podcast, and I can produce people's podcasts because I understand how to use GarageBand.
Yeah. I've done 25 episodes. I think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, most people drop out after 7, so hey, I got freaking 3 times as many. I'm good.
Yeah. We've done, I think, 54, and I still don't think I know a fucking thing.
Yeah, I've done. Oh my god, I've got 93 actually that I uploaded, and I've got probably another 50 that I never will release.
Just for what reason?
Oh, they were just that bad. Either that, or I ended up pissing somebody off and they hung up on me. But
I feel like that would be great to hear, though. You could make a compilation of that. Like, here's all the people I've pissed off in the past year.
Yeah, maybe when I can get enough downloads where it doesn't matter who I piss off anymore.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's like, I feel that shit.
See, that's good. That's the mistake. I mean, I was pissing people off at day one. I should have been waiting until I got successful.
Oh, man. You're pissing them off. Hell, my very first interview on Raw and Real, I'm interviewing these 2 whack job gun nuts who are talking about that whole thing that happened over in Utah where they shot that guy and there's like big old standoff and this, that, and the other. And these 2 people here in the Midwest are like, yeah, they need to send some people over there with some guns, teach those sheriffs a little bit of how we do things as Americans. I'm like, oh, holy shit, this show is going nowhere.
Whoops. Swing and a miss.
And it was an in-person interview. I actually went to their damn house. So I couldn't just say, okay, we're going to stop right there. I can't even say, oh, technical Skype fucked up on me.
Yeah, after 12 seconds. Well, I think I got all I need.
Yeah. Like, I had an entire hour of these 2 freaks just going batshit crazy about, hey, we got to keep our guns. We're Second Amenders. God damn it.
Did you drink anything they were giving you?
Oh, hell no.
In a clear label-less bottle?
If I remember right, I think we had like some kind of old like George Thorogood or something like that playing in the background, or some freaking rebel yell shit going on. And like, man, what the hell did I step into?
Right. I was actually just listening to George Thorogood song yesterday. I consider myself a big rock and roll fan. I can't stand George Thorogood. Like, 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, and 1 beer was a song that was on. I was listening to it, and I was like, this is the most horrendous. Like, I went to get my rent. I could see by the look on her face. The answer was no. And then that's like a whole section of a song. You don't get to the chorus until like 5 minutes in. He's doing a talk singy thing.
He's like, 1 bourbon, 1 shot, 1 beer. It's like, dude, just fucking pick one. Get fucked up and don't give a shit. Who cares?
I know why you can't pay your rent.
Lightweight night out as well, done it? Free drinks.
Come on. Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, seriously, what are you going to do? Bourbon? A shot of what? And a beer. Okay. That's a warm up. That's like stretching out before you go to the gym, you know?
It's like less than Scottish people drink before they drive their kids to school in the morning.
That's what they put in the baby's bottles over there. Yeah. Down south here, it's Mountain Dew. Over there, it's Scotch.
No. They give them Jack Daniels. That's like formula.
You don't knock number 7 down there, you'll get in trouble.
Hey, my freaking studio's named after the number 7, man. Love that shit. Until it doesn't love me back.
Right. Which for me is pretty quickly.
Yeah. I've got previous with technology shitting the bed on me before I get to bloody alcohol being involved.
What's that one alcohol that you guys cannot stand the smell of? Where it makes you want to yak as soon as you just get it up. It's like, ugh.
I gotta say, it's Jack.
Jack.
Yeah, well, because whiskey was like the first, like, really, I guess, popular one everybody was kind of diving into, and it was always Jack Daniels. So everybody usually says tequila, but that's like, I love margaritas. Like, that's my favorite thing in the world. Like, tequilas has so much flavor to me, and anytime I smell whiskey, it's kind of just like.
He starts getting the whiskey sweats already. It's like,
oh God.
I can't do it.
Burned real good, real good.
What about you, Drew?
It's a drink that's very popular in the town I grew up in. It's called Buckfast. It's basically tonic wine, and it just fucking stinks. It's like the most disgusting smelling alcohol you've ever had.
Hey, we're going to put some buck piss in a goddamn bottle, and we're going to make them Scottish people drink it and call it wine.
You see this wine that's really hard to drink? We're going to make it burn, too. That's what that sounds like.
See this thing that when you took a sip of it, it made you blind? Let's bottle it and sell it to the masses.
Oh, we already do that. It's called moonshine, baby.
Even moonshine's getting watered down now. If you see it like at liquor stores, they're selling flavored moonshines like on the front shelf when you walk in the store.
Dude, I tell you what, blueberry moonshine is the shit. Love that stuff.
I have to try it. I feel next time I'm on, I'm gonna be like blueberry moonshine. I can't stand it.
Yeah. No, that one in the creamsicle moonshine. It sounds disgusting.
It sounds so sweet, like too sweet.
Oh yeah, it's diabetes in a bottle. I tell you. Hey, I'm gonna drink this, get fucked up, and then get a hangover of diabetes. That's it.
Right now, I think in my life, I'm playing a game of chicken with diabetes, so I'm gonna have to make a decision soon. I think diabetes is undefeated, though, so I might have to tap out.
What? Fuck it. Let me see. Get fucked up with diabetes or just get fucked up? Hey, it's either way, I'm going to lose. Let's just get fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. At least then you won't feel it as bad.
Right. Now, for me, it's that Yukon Jack. So it's another Jack, but Yukon Jack. Dude, that stuff. True story. My 24th birthday, I go back home to my hometown. I go straight to the bar because it's like at 10 o'clock at night. I drive into town. There's nothing to do in this little ass town. So I go to the bar and I see all my old friends. You know, they're all just a bunch of belligerent, drunk ass farmers. And I pull in and they're like, "Hey, how are you, Chris? What's up? Oh, it's my birthday. Cool. Hey, shots." I'm like, "Cool. Yeah, shots." And it's like first one out of the gate, Yukon Jack. Oh, Jesus Christ. Go right straight to the bathroom. I throw up, come back out. The next shot is a shot of freaking cinnamon schnapps. I'm like, okay, at least that'll take that puke taste out of my mouth. That's no big deal. Throw that one back. And I'm like, that burns a whole lot worse after you've puked. I tell you that right now.
Oh, God. You just brought just floods of flashbacks from my 21st. I remember my uncle, who has not had a drop to drink in like 30, 35 years. He knew all the terrible things to get me on my 21st. One of them was Yukon Jack. That's bad.
Yeah. Exactly.
He got me one called a Screaming Nazi.
Oh, yeah. That was a Jaeger.
So in turn, when my brother turned 21, I got him a bunch of Screaming Nazis because, tradition must continue.
Absolutely. Yeah, my wife's 21st birthday, I said, "We're not leaving until you puke." We left because I puked. He was good.
I was going to say, how awkward would that that name of that drink have been if Matt was on the show?
That would have been if you wanted him off real quick.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hey, Matt, you ever had a screaming orgasm? Hello?
Hello.
But I've had one.
I think the only time, well, not the only time, about 5 times I've interviewed people that they've hung up at the very start without ever actually saying anything to me was because I dropped the C-bomb in my greeting to them. And it's then I realised that's not normal in America.
No, five times?
It was like, take a note. Americans don't like that.
That's what I was saying before we went live. I think Jim Jeffries is a comedian who really broke down, like, he's like, I forget where he's from. It may be Scotland or no, Australia. He's from Australia.
Yeah.
So he was saying, like, we say cunt all the time. Like, it's our how you doing, buddy. So it's like, and there's something about the way the C and the T interact with each other. It's perfect. I don't understand why it's not a thing in America. And I understand that too. Like, because I said it inherently references a great thing, except for Chris's experience.
Right. But, even if you think about how the C and the T work together, it's the exact same way that the F and the K work together.
Right. It's sharp.
Yeah, it's just bam. It smacks you right dead in the kisser.
Right. Right. I feel the same way about twat too. I really like that one. But I feel like that's not as... That's kind of like the left jab. It's not really like the big right hook,
That's kind of like just someone who tweets too much.
It's a twat. Yeah. Calling a woman a twat is not nearly as offensive as calling a man a twat, but everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Right.
What you really want to say. Either way you use it, it doesn't matter. Everybody knows the way you want to say it. It's like, hey, you twat.
You could came really close that time. You almost had me there. You want to hit a home run and get thrown out of the stadium. That's what you go with.
Right. Oh, hell.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this damn show so I can share it out. Guess what?
Yep. It's
not showing. Oh, there it is. I got it right there.
Yeah. I posted it somewhere. Not 100% sure where, but I saw this weird ass story earlier. I put it on my timeline so I would remember it. Some old guy in Argentina thinks he's Hitler.
Like actual Hitler or descendant?
Yeah, he's got senile dementia and he's a German that lives in Argentina. So like his family think he was a Nazi, and now all the guilt of that plus the senile dementia is making him think he was actually Adolf Hitler. But he's writing a book about being Hitler.
Jesus Christ.
Huh. Well, I guess if you're going to wake up with dementia every morning, you may as well believe you're a big historical figure.
Could you have picked a bigger cunt, though, to be honest?
Right. But if he was a Nazi growing up, then that's basically like his Jesus, right?
That would make sense.
I mean, or his Babe Ruth or something like that.
Hey, I'm gonna collect me some Nazi trading cards. How about you? I'll trade you 2 Goerings for 1 Hitler.
I got a first edition Stalin, never been open.
I got a 1939 Hitler and a 1914 World War I Hitler. How do you like those apples?
That's like the single A ball rookie card. The ones that are on eBay for 20 cents because you have no idea if he's going to make the majors or not.
That's
Yeah, we
proper.
went down to World War I a couple of times, but once he got up into World War II, he really stepped up in a big way.
If you've got his
He really
trading card
realized
with
his
the
full
shot in the
potential.
balls, that's the classic.
Oh, hell.
First ballot Hall of Fame genocide right there.
Yeah, I wonder if they have those in Beckett. Hey, all you card collectors out there know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. It doesn't.
Is there anything you've collected that hasn't panned out?
Daryl Strawberry. What the fuck happened there? Oh, I'm ready to go, coach. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I fucking missed the game. What the fuck?
Hey, he showed up to the World Series. He just missed their parade. Did you see that 30 for 30 on the Doc and Daryl?
No.
Oh, that was phenomenal. That was really interesting. Doc Gooden does not look good. Like,
No.
I'm honestly surprised he's still alive.
Yeah, that's what
He looked like he was tweaking while they were filming the doc.
You know, he's been on so many opiates over the years. He probably hasn't shit in 10 years either.
He looks like he's 100 pounds. So you're saying 50 pounds of that is just shit, and the rest is just clinging on for dear life.
Oh yeah. They have to have some kind of mass to them. I mean,
I think my one friend bought. It was supposed to be the next Astros great third baseman, like 10 years ago. His name was Matt Dominguez, and he bought like 100 of these cards. Like, he's a can't miss, and then it's like, hey, Matty D's getting called up for a week. You think he can do something besides strike out?
like all the people that invested in Sheffield. What the fuck were they thinking?
Right. But at least he had like a major league career.
Oh yeah, that's because the team he played for couldn't afford to send him down.
Right. They ran out of options real quick.
It's like, we're only paying this kid freaking $350,000. May as well freaking keep him.
Right, exactly.
Every year of his contract, he took less money every time. He's like, oh yeah, no, I'll take less money. That's fine. Hey, I'm just happy to have a job right now. I'm just happy to I could be washing cars again. It's any job is better than washing cars.
He's just Milton from Office Space, but in MLB.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna need you to take care of the cockroach problem while you're down there. Yeah, sure, right away, no problem. Do I get to get at bats? Okay. I don't know why Sheffield sounds like he's from Fargo, but that's how I picture it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know where the guy came from originally, but I remember I remember when he first came out though, and he was like, he had 1 year, his rookie year, he's just crushing the ball, putting it in play all over the field wherever he wants it. Then the next year he comes out, does about a third of what he did the first year, and then the next year he did like a third of that, and it's like, okay, you've got a 5-year career coming up, and you'll be done. And that's pretty much what it boiled down to.
Yeah, and then the steroids.
Oh, come on. The steroids made baseball interesting. Admit it.
Hey, I'm good with that. I thoroughly enjoyed the 80 home run years. Like, that was great.
The only thing that would have been better if they would have came out and all jacked up like Canseco and McGuire and Palmeiro, and they would have came out and said, yeah, I just inject this shit straight into my damn batting arm and throwing arm, and I'm good to go. I mean,
Right.
Admit it. Come on. Half the shit that they were taking was legal. It wasn't on the banned substance list until they were fucking retired.
Right, yeah.
It's like, it wasn't banned when you took it, so just say you freaking took it.
It's because the MLB drug test, their drug testers are like the Jacques Cousteau of like, they're like always like 7 steps behind what the actual drug is.
Oh, you got methamphetamines in your system. Oh no, you're still good. You're still good.
Yeah.
Oh, you got cocaine? Oh shit, Daryl fucked that up for everybody.
Yeah, but it's like you go into football, you get like George Best back in the 80s playing pissed every single game, still scoring a shitload of goals. You know, if alcohol improves your game, I'm all for it. If drugs improve, it's like, do you want to see Usain Bolt run 9 seconds, 100 meters, or do you want to see him run it in 2?
Right.
Definitely want to see him run it in 2 because running just irritates the shit out of me anyways. I mean, I hate running so much. I don't even like to watch other people do it.
I said that, like, even if you just completely say steroids are legal, right, you're still going to find out who the best athletes are, because if your heart can't handle it, you're done. So the best athletes have the best hearts anyway. Like, all the world's a stage. Go for it. Like, Barry Bonds is going to be able to pump more than fucking Chuck Knobloch, you know? Like,
yeah. Oh, Chucky. When he was with Minnesota, that made me laugh so hard. Minnesota guy is like 2 pounds. I mean, like 102 pounds when he comes to Minnesota. He goes over to New York, he's like 220 and 5'4".
like, wait a second.
Like, God damn. Who's your trainer? Lee Haney? Fuck. He went over to Scotland and played some of those Highland games or some shit. I don't know.
I always find it amusing when someone tests positive for steroids and they're just like the skinniest guy you've ever seen. There's like no muscle on them whatsoever. Like,
you're doing it wrong.
It's like, what the fuck do you look like if you don't take them?
I think you balloon up like Ben Stiller at the end of Dodgeball.
Oh my God. Yeah, steroids is always a fun conversation just because you can make fun of everybody doing it and they can't say shit to you because they don't really want to dime themselves out.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Yep. You got
a few people like, you know, Rich Piana who's like, yeah, I freaking take juice. This is how much I take. This is when I take it. This is where I buy it.
Right. Well, you got to have respect for guys like that. Like Canseco, who was like, all right, I did steroids my whole career. How do I make money off of this? I know. I'll write a book and out everyone. I'll make enemies across the league. Used to be my friend, not anymore.
And then I'll go to Japan and try to do MMA and get knocked out like a man.
Is there a testing policy there? I mean,
not then, no.
I was gonna say, I don't think Japan's got a testing policy. I mean, fuck's sakes. I mean, I've seen some of those sumo wrestlers. I think they should be tested for freaking too much damn sushi, but whatever.
That's why Overeem fought there for so long.
Oh, yeah?
If you look at Overeem in Japan, you know, he looks like fucking He-Man. You look at him now, he's just got like a dad bod, doesn't he? So kind of sums it off. He's actually had to learn how to fight now.
Yeah, Alistair underweight there. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I look at that list every now and then where I see like there'll be like 50 people in the UFC that are test positive for something. It's like, fuck, I don't even know half these motherfuckers. They must have been tested positive from day one because I've never seen them fight.
Right.
Like, who the hell is JJ Reed? Fuck, who knows?
I saw this really funny article. There was a guy that was signed back when they took over Strikeforce, and he never fought on a UFC card, and he only got released last year.
Oh, shit.
So he was like there for like 6-7 years, doing nothing, getting paid.
Getting paid.
Keeping his mouth shut.
The practice squad of the Browns right there. Fuck that.
The best job in the world has to be third string quarterback on any team.
Oh, hell yeah.
Can you hold a clipboard? Can you wear a baseball hat? You're good.
And can you kind of run an offense on the practice squad?
Yeah. You have one good game as a quarterback in the NFL. You will have a 12-year career just being a third stringer. Charlie Whitehurst, he's still in the league. Dude's been terrible for 13 years.
Rob Bauman was the same way.
And then they put quarterbacks as third stringers and they're like, oh, he's real smart. He's going to teach the other guys. It's like, give me a fucking break. Like, there's got to be somebody better than like the Giants years ago signed Curtis Painter, who was like Peyton's backup quarterback for years. And it's like, Eli's Peyton's brother. You think there's a better connection than that?
Right.
It's a roster spot. Use it for somebody else.
The worst thing though, as a quarterback, is to come out and be that rookie starter, and then 2 years later, you can't even get a third string job. You just get booted out of the league because you're just that terrible.
Right? Yeah. Watch out, Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, like go from the Broncos to the Houston Idiots, and then you go to the Browns. You know you're on your way out. That's just boom, 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 out.
But I mean, he didn't even have a good game. He didn't have a good career. And the Texans were like, "Hey, how does $45 million guaranteed sound? What do I sign?"
It was his publicist saying, "Yeah, do you remember that they went to the Super Bowl and he played half the games and this, that, and the other?"
I remember him being benched for Peyton Manning that couldn't even throw the ball 5 yards anymore. That's what I remember.
Guy's got a fucked up neck. He's got a fucked up foot, a fucked up arm, a fucked up back. The guy can't see straight because he's had so many damn concussions. But you're going to bench the guy who started the game for that guy.
Peyton Manning had more cleats than he did nerve endings in the top half of his body. And Brock Osweiler still got benched.
But he got $43 million at the Houston Idiots. That's pretty amazing. I hope he invested it because it's the writing's on the wall. You went from Super Bowl to guy, we almost made it, to you're going to sit out the rest of your life.
Right. To them being like, Cody Kessler might be better.
Yeah. Let's it's that old joke about the smartest raisin in the bunch is still a raisin. I'll call them raisins because I want to be politically correct. But yeah, no, that's what's going on with Osweiler. I mean, the guy literally freaking shit his whole career right down the toilet by opening his mouth and not taking the contract with Denver.
Right.
If he would have stayed in Denver, he'd probably be starting.
Yeah, well, yeah, he left and they didn't really get any better.
No. But they didn't get a whole lot worse. I mean, a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Yeah. Do you have a football team, like a professional team you follow?
Oh, absolutely. I
Did
follow
the Broncos out
there? No. That's my wife's team, though.
Okay.
I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. So I know disappointment. I know what it's like to get right there to the end and watch a dumbass freaking piece of shit quarterback that should have retired 20 years prior throw 2 freaking interceptions and a freaking fumble ass piece of shit running back who thinks he's great drop it on the freaking 10-yard line. Yeah, I know all about disappointment. And hey, no hard feelings.
I'm fine. Don't mind this twitch. I've never seen a stronger arm quarterback than Dante Culpepper throwing the ball, though. Like, if Jamarcus Russell realized any of his potential, he would have come close to being Culpepper.
Culpepper was great. He in his first year. Then he had that bad back problem in his second year, and he just went to shit from there on out. So,
and then every other year his knees gave out.
Yeah, his knees went out, and it was like, his knees were going out in college, though. He knew his knees were going out. He knew he had to have just one good year, and he did. He went out and he had that one good year, and that was the year that nobody expected the deep ball. And you have some fast ass little bastard like Randy Moss who's able to run out and eat shit.
That was a perfect example of being able to get game planning versus like actually performing. Like, it didn't matter. You could play prevent defense. They'd still blow the top off of you.
Yeah, you just Moss had to get behind the secondary, and Culpepper just chucked the damn ball up.
Right.
It's like playing 500 at that time.
And then Randy Moss took 2 years off in Oakland and did it again in New England.
Yeah. But I loved how Minnesota brought Moss back for one game and then benched his ass and then released him.
Yeah.
I was like,
he made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, it was like poetic justice. All the shit that Moss talked to get traded. I mean, he's a fit to get traded, And then New England's like, shit, we got to get rid of this guy. Minnesota says, yeah, let us take him.
Yeah, they woke up from their nap like, what? Randy Moss is available?
Yeah. Well, no, they took him. I mean, they took him. They're like, yeah, bring him. They played him for a half a game, benched his ass the second game, and released him on the third game.
What a comeback story. I tell you.
Loved it.
What do you think they're gonna do with Teddy Bridgewater and Sam Bradford now? Because they're saying Bridgewater could come back this year.
Yeah, no, Bridgewater, he'll be a backup to Bradford. It's just Bradford's got the experience and the years, and
yeah, but you know what his ceiling is. I feel like he's an 8-win quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever had a team though where he could play behind. A line he could play behind where he could really excel.
Right.
Literally the guy has played for some of the shittiest offensive lines in the history of football.
Right.
The guy is, and they, Minnesota went out in the draft just to build an offensive line for the guy. I mean, so who's to say? I mean, really, I think it's going to be Bradford's job until Bridgewater understands.
Can stand up.
Well, yeah. I mean, the guy he doesn't understand the game. He was supposedly the smartest him and Ponder were the two smartest guys out of their classes. And neither one of them could understand the NFL game. They got college. They freaking tore it up in college. But
at least somebody in the Ponder family is still employed by a sports network.
Yeah, the freaking host.
Yeah.
Interviewer.
I used to think Christian Ponder was like one of those third stringers last year for somebody. Was it San Francisco? He was still like in the NFL.
Oh, he'll be in the NFL for a while because everybody thinks his wife is hot.
She'll be the last ESPN employee.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, let's get rid of Ponder. No, we can't. His wife will leave too.
What are you, crazy? You shut your mouth.
It's not so much that she does good interviews, because really she does just average interviews. But all the guys like seeing her come into the locker room. So
sure.
Anyways, now that we've hijacked the Haver.
Yeah.
Welcome to Rants and Raving.
Yeah, raw and ranting. I like it.
Yeah, raw and ranting. Here we go.
Okay, so Ponder's on the Raiders and then the Broncos and the 49ers.
Oh, Ponder went to the Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Wait, he just looked it up. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my wife is you say anything terrible about the Broncos.
Get out.
Did you hear it?
Nothing but good things to say about the Broncos.
No, I like them. They're a fun team to watch. They really are. I love Von Miller. Guy is a beast.
Yeah. Although I had CJ Anderson last year on my fantasy team and his knee wrecked my season.
Yeah. Yeah, CJ Anderson, he's one of those dark horses. He's either going to be a brilliant player or he's going to be a shit player. He would have had a great season if he wouldn't have gotten all blown out.
Yeah, until his ligaments decided to quit.
Yeah. And of course nobody's ever going. I think after the whole Adrian Peterson thing where he left and he came back and he had that blowout year, everybody thinks, oh shit, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to happen.
No.
Adrian Peterson had one of those steroids or something, whatever it was, but he had a full off season where he wasn't even in the country rehabbing that thing.
Yeah. Did he do that German platelet thing that like Kobe did and like? Yeah,
and they use that deer antler crap and all sorts of.
Yeah. Vijay Singh used that.
Yeah, well, the stuff they get in Europe, I guess, is some pretty good stuff. Probably because it's got a bunch of freaking shit in it. But
Drew, comment.
No comment.
Come on, Drew. You're like from the home of the deer antler spray up there.
I think that's actually what Drew's drinking.
That's why he's 6'20". I don't know. Have you ever seen Drew stand up, especially like next to his wife?
I haven't.
Of course
no.
not. He's on his knees when he's standing next to his wife.
Maybe
like-
you should have been the one playing basketball.
No. You've ever seen me play basketball? People tend to get elbowed in the head quite a lot.
Yeah, okay. So you're good at clearing out the paint.
Oh shit.
I like to play basketball. I think I'm all right at it, but I'm only 6'1", so I basically just use my girth around my waist to move everybody around. Not my height.
Man, I'm 5'6", and I could have had a stellar career in the CBA. No doubt. No doubt. As a towel boy.
It's that low center of gravity that sort of gets you.
Yeah. See, you know that kid that sits at the end and wipes the floor when they fall down? That would have been me. I could have had a great career, 20-year career in the CBA doing that.
And then in the off season doing the pro tennis and the ball boy getting the.
Oh yeah. Oh god. No, I don't like to run that much. No, they run way too much.
Yeah, that's true. Well, not in a good match. In a good match, there's a lot of serves before.
Well, I can hold up that board that says "Quiet, please" in golf. That's perfect for me.
That's true. My favorite job on a golf course when you see like the professionals is the guy that's walking around that works for the TV network. That's just the sound guy. He's just carrying around the furry boom. That's his entire job. He puts it like right next to their clubs while they're trying to swing and just like, okay, next shot. That's all this guy does.
I think they should just have a big sign that says "Shut the fuck up." That they walk around holding like this.
That's the Happy Gilmore sequel.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I went golfing a few weeks ago, and this guy that I was golfing with, he's like, "Dude, seriously, you got to be quiet." Like, I didn't say nothing. I mean, he's like, "Dude, you got to be quiet." I'm like, "I didn't say anything." He goes, "You were just ordering a beer." Like, seriously, that's what got you going?
Yeah. I absolutely love to play golf, but that is one of the like real. Oh, so because I sneezed or something on your backswing, that's why you grounded your club 3 feet into the dirt? No, choke up.
I just tell people I'm a shitty golfer, and that I don't have to make another excuse the rest of the day. I could have an amazing shot. I could golf like 2 over par, and they'll look at me like, "Yeah, he was a shitty golfer." You know, it's okay. He's a shitty golfer. You know, and I can go like 10 over par or 50 over par. Oh yeah, that's okay. He's a shitty golfer. You told us that at the beginning.
Yeah.
You got to set the standard. You get the expectations right away at the beginning. Now, if I went like 4 under par and just kicked everybody's ass, I'd be like, "Hey, I can't help it. You guys are just shittier golfers."
Yeah.
Yeah. I struggle to get fucking clubs that are the right length.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
So it's
You
like
probably have to duct tape like 2
crouch.
clubs.
It's like the most awkward swing ever. I remember once being at a driving range and letting the club go.
Oh.
It's like, and everyone over this way just ducking. Instantly, it's a club flies past their head.
He would be the only golfer who would like bend his knees on his downswing to make contact with the ball.
Yeah, I loaned a guy my driver one time, so because I don't use a driver because I can't hit the freaking ball with the driver to save my life. So I lent my driver, never been used, still had the plastic, that shrink wrap plastic on the head, never been touched. Lent it to this guy so he could go to the driving range. He comes back that day. He's like, "Hey, dude, I got to buy you a new driver." I'm like, What? Why? He goes, "Well, I hit the ball and the club head went further than the ball."
Oh my God.
What? Yeah, I said, "Dude, don't even worry about it. I never use that damn thing anyways." I said, "If you want to replace the club, just go get me a really nice, ping, hybrid or something." He's like, "Okay." So he gets me a ping hybrid, and that one club costs more than my entire set.
Oh God, yeah. Ping's one of those companies that feels like they can charge whatever the hell they want for their clubs.
Put a special name on there like hybrid. Well, that just jacked it up $200.
Yeah. There's a 1 ounce weight on the side that you can adjust, so that's another $300.
Yeah,
it's never anyone that's been highly bred that uses them, though, as it is, to be fair.
I found out though, using a $280 club did not make me a better golfer.
No, it'll send your ball farther off into the woods, though, so you get distance.
No, it does.
It sounds real nice when you're
around.
Sounds real nice when you're sculling the ball.
Guy says, he goes, dude, you got a pretty nasty slice. I said, oh wait, I haven't even used my hybrid yet.
Yeah.
Fucker did a U-turn.
Yeah. I used to basically have to stand 90 degrees in the tee box just to hit the fairway with my slice.
The hole's over there. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm aware. I got this. Hold my beer.
Dude, that's a nasty slice. No, that's my fade.
Yeah. That's not nasty. I was trying to do that.
You see me standing this way? I knew what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah. There's one golf course I used to go to where the one fairway was on the left side was like the road. So I used to have to tee off. I would be facing the road. It would scare the shit out of me every time. Because if I happened to hit it straight, it was like, nah. But it would like clockwork. It would go over the power lines, come back down into the fairway. Beautiful.
When I was golfing left-handed, I had one like that where if I tried to put it straight down the fairway, it would end up over by the interstate somewhere.
When you golf left-handed, you just decided to switch? Yeah,
no. Well, what happened is one year for Father's Day, my wife and kids bought me a right-handed set, so I decided to switch to right-handed. So I have both right and left-handed clubs in my bag now, so I could, depending on what tree I'm up against, because I usually end up around a lot of trees.
That's incredible. That's a hell of a tool to have.
It's funny because I golf equally as shitty right-handed as I did left-handed, so
right.
It all plays out.
I was going to say you're ambidextrous, but you're equally shit at both ends.
Yeah. Last time I golfed, I found a beautiful, beautiful wedge, and all my wedges in my bags are shit. So I found a beautiful wedge off one green, waiting for somebody to come claim it. Nobody claimed it. I was like, yes, this is great. I look at it to take it out of my bag to use, and it's facing the other way. It was a left-handed club. I was like, son of a bitch. Like, either I have to relearn everything or just give it to the the clubhouse wins again.
Yeah, it's usually what I think they bait you. I think that's how they keep the people honest. Clubhouse will go throw a club out there and see what happens, It's like,
yeah.
And then they watch it. Now they've started, at least around here, there's a couple of clubs like this one, Red Rock. It costs like $180 a round to freaking golf this damn course. Jesus. And they got literally people flying drones to make sure that you're following the course rules.
Oh,
I was
my
like,
God.
are you fucking kidding me? That's just retarded. I want that job.
Damn. That is high-tech security. Well, that's what you get when you pay $180 for a tee time. You get drones.
Yeah.
No green maintenance, just more drones.
And the nice thing about a club, I've only golfed there one time, and it was free because it was kind of one of their open house weekends. And the one thing I liked about it is the beer cart. There's one beer cart girl for every 3 holes.
Wow.
So yeah, if you get in sync just right,
and you're very dirty.
Yeah, if you get in sync just right, it's
wait, I've misheard you.
You've got the beer cart girl every single hole because she gives you one here at 1. By the time you get to 2, she's still waiting there for you. By the time you get to 3, she's got you ready right there for you.
Oh my God.
Hit number 4, the beer cart girl from 4, 5, and 6 is right there waiting for you.
I love when it's like off season. So like when everybody's back in college or whatever, there's like one card girl for the entire course, and it's like you're sweating, you're dying, you're hitting balls into the woods, and you're like, "Where's the card girl? God help me!" And then you've got one every 3 holes. Damn.
Oh yeah, no. Well, we play different rules here. It's a beer per hole. You have to have a beer per hole, so you don't go to any course without an 18 pack. You can't take a 24 pack because then somebody else is going to steal your shit. So you got, and so that limits you to freaking Busch Light. But it works out perfectly. A beer per hole and Busch Light, you can drink 18 of them and still freaking stagger somewhat straight. So good to go. Just have to remember to return the golf cart the next morning and get your car.
You drink 18 of those, take a breathalyzer, and then still drive home.
Right. Hey, you're at point. Oh, shit. You're not even registering. Go back out. Jeez, what the fuck are you drinking, you cunt? I mean, come on, drink like a man.
There we go. We're bringing it back. We're bringing it over.
Yeah, it's kind of a cycle. You gotta work these things in cycles. That's what I've learned over the years in television and radio and all this shit. You gotta bring everything back in cycles. So the people from the beginning, you lost it a long time ago, but
I just noticed one of the questions that had popped up on my DMs was, how much do the folk that talk about how they worked in radio that come into podcasting and say how they're like fucking way more professional than podcasters, how much do you hate those cunts, was basically the question. I'm guessing they're referring to, I probably shouldn't name names, but you know, Andre Kane's known for that in the group talking about radio. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, because those guys, the radio guys, the guys that talk like this all the time, the guys that you just can't get to shut up when you want them to shut up, the guys like CJ Ripko who just keeps fucking flapping his gums. Now, those people.
My thoughts on it is I don't really give a shit.
I sense a common theme.
Someone wants to come over from radio and do podcasts, that's fine. As long as they don't interact with me too much, they won't have a problem.
You know, the funny thing is there's quite a few podcasters that I've talked to in the last year who have made the jump over to radio.
Yeah,
I made the jump over to radio for a while. It was a college station, so the show kind of went to shit after a while when they lost their funding. But still, you know, there's a lot of podcasters jumping over into radio because it's a different style, it's a different flow, and people are sick and tired of those guys that have that certain cadence that every single radio station seems to have.
Oh, absolutely. The first time I heard Opie and Anthony, it completely blew my mind and changed my world. Listening to those guys,
yeah,
it's just unbelievable. I can't listen to anything else now.
And the whole radio voice thing just fucking annoys me.
Yeah, because it's fake.
Yeah, I'm going to sound like a total wanker. You're like, fuck off. Play the next song, Dick. You're there to play songs, to play a fucking
It's completely phony. It's fraud. It's just it's empty calories. It's just what it is. It's pointless.
With a 3.5 minute interview with some singer that they don't know jack shit about.
Right.
So they're just reading the questions the guy's fucking publicist has handed them.
Yeah. You can only talk about this, and this. Only the new movie, the new album, nothing about the previous marriage, nothing about any of their older work.
That's the interviews I love, because when they hand me stuff like that, I just have it sitting beside me and never fucking ever ask any of those questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything but that.
I've had a couple of publicists do that to me, where they send me like, these are the talking points. These are what they can talk on. Like, what, are they not intelligent to carry on a freaking free flow conversation? What the? So then I just start asking them questions. And one of the questions I love to ask right away out of the gate is, so what was your high school years like? Everyone's like, normal, I guess. Don't fucking lie to me. You were either a geek, you were popular, or you're one of those people that floated in between. Nobody really liked you, but they accepted you just because you had money or you had some cool ass car. I mean, everybody had an experience in high school, and chances are it wasn't as great as what they remembered it.
Yeah. My first question is always, who's the biggest cunt in Hollywood?
I mean,
and if you don't know who it is, it's probably you.
Yeah. And if they don't hang up on you right there, they're a keeper.
Yeah. If they don't hang up, we usually become friends.
This is gonna be a good show now. Fuck. We broke out the cunt. We broke out the fuck. We broke out what? We were going all the way. No, there's very few shows. I've listened to probably a good 200 or 300 shows out of the PDC, and after that, I was like, fuck, I ain't listening to any more new fucking shows because 99% of them are shit.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I asked Drew today. I was like, so who's going to be on the show with us tonight? And he's like, Steve is. Okay. And then he sends me your information about your show. I'm like, all right, I'm going to give this guy a listen so I can kind of, feel him out and see where this is going. Then I start listening. I'm like, holy shit, this is good.
That's all. You're like, who's this cunt?
Who's this cunt? Holy.
No, I really appreciate that. We work hard at it.
Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like you guys just get on and you have such a great time. And
I thought that was going to be a really funny insult there. Doesn't sound like it. It's fucking shit.
Oh, that's a shame you work hard because you really shouldn't. Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. People are either gonna like it or they're not gonna like it. Fuck them. The ones that don't like it are a bunch of cunts. The ones that like it, well, they're fuckheads.
They're twats.
They're twats. So on your next show, hey, thanks for that one twat that listens to us, CJ.
Yeah. And if you knew, twat's a good thing now.
Yeah. He gets it. Just try. He gets it. Oh, good God.
Yeah, it was great. I was cause Drew sent these invitations like a month ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, you're pretty funny. I'd love to have you on." And I was like, "Me? I do declare." Like, I'd be honored. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was it was fun. I was sitting there, I'm working today, and I was cleaning out the shop. I mean, the most boring ass mundane job you can do is clean out a fucking shop. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I get this bing. I'm like, oh, who the fuck's this? Oh, it's Drew. Hey, Matt bailed on me. Could you fill in tonight? Fuck yeah. So then, of course, I didn't play it off like that. I was like, yeah, I can do it.
I might have to move a few things around, but I can make some time.
Oh, shit. Somebody wants me to be on their podcast. Yay. Why do you podcast 5 times a week? Because nobody else wants me on their show. Fuck.
Because I need to be wanted.
Could be worse. You could appear on a lot of podcasts, and by appear, I mean do interviews for a lot of podcasts, and maybe 1 in 5 actually makes it to air. That's what happens to me.
Oh. God damn.
Let's say Scott Doucette still not posted our one, where I call out a lot of people in the PDC for being arseholes. And he didn't post it. Strange that, so it is.
I'm surprised he posted mine because I actually called him out on his own show. I was talking about the podcasters that had only been podcasting for like a year and decided they were going to be a podcast coach. I called him out. It was like, dude, I've been doing this since 2003. And you're a fucking podcast coach? Fuck, I don't even have the balls to call myself a podcast coach.
There's a guy in the PDC, I forget his name. I wish I could remember it because I would call him out because he's a complete fuckwit. But he had me on his show, and the whole interview, he was very aggressive, which I just couldn't take any other way than being funny, because he's like, a tiny guy that's the least intimidating guy you could ever see. And he's like saying, well, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's how it would go down. And he's like, so why are you saying you could beat this person up or beat that person up? And I'm like, because I fucking could. It's like, one, I'm tall. Two, I'm heavy. Three, I know how to hit people. These are good enough answers.
Yeah, my arm is as long as Ripka is tall. Fuck you.
I think it was all stemmed from, we were talking about some film, and I called the actor in it an arsehole, and I said I'd beat him up if I ever met him if he gave me shit like that. It was Christian Bale for when he shouted at the crew member.
Oh yeah, on Terminator.
I was like, if he did that to me, I'd beat the fuck out of him. I wouldn't care if I get sacked. He's like, how could you beat him up? He was Batman. I'm like, he wasn't fucking really Batman. He was acting.
He's an actor. He's acting.
It's like, and acting is like, really overusing that word. He's turning up to set and saying lines.
Right. Yeah. If you had said, I can beat up Christian Bale's stunt double, then you might give pause.
Yeah. No, he probably do that too.
But that's the guy that actually takes the bumps.
He might take a couple of shots from Drew before he finally says, okay, we're done. We're done. No more.
But yeah, it was the weirdest interview. And then, like, at the end of it, he was like, thank you for coming on my show. I'm like, okay. And then never posted it and wouldn't reply to anything I fucking sent to him.
God, I wish I knew what show that was, because that would be funny as hell to.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, even if it's even if I had one of you on the show or something like that, and you were calling me out for something I said, or like some of the things I picked to talk about, as long as it's like good and entertaining, you post it.
Yeah.
Like, if it's entertaining, it's entertaining. It doesn't matter. Like, if you come out looking good or not.
If someone comes on my show and calls me an arsehole or whatever, fuck, I'll still play it. It'll still be up on iTunes.
Somebody's gonna find it funny.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be you.
See, the problem with
probably be my mom.
Finally, somebody who sees my point. I've been saying that for years.
So people come on my show, and I let everybody promo whatever they're doing, but I've got a certain time in the show that I do it. Well, I've had a couple of guys that have come on, and they went straight into the marketing mode from the moment they got on. Everything was like a rehearsed story. I'd say I'd ask them a question. So what was it that inspired you to get involved into XYZ? And then they have like this like prepared monologue.
The glaze over white.
And there's been a few times where I was like, dude, no, that's not what I'm asking you. Stop right there. I don't give a shit. My audience doesn't give a shit about how the fuck you started your company. We want to know what inspired you to even think about something like that.
Right. Yeah. For me, it all comes back to Opie and Anthony. That's how they would tell publicists to go fuck themselves. Because bottom line is, if you're interested in a musician, an actor, anybody, and you enjoy the interview, you're going to go look up what they do. If it's, just Tom Cruise coming on, like, his eyes glazed over talking about the Mummy, I may not be interested in it. But if he comes on and he's talking about, like, I don't know, something with Scientology, you're gonna be like, wow, I'm gonna actually like look that up and support this guy. Like the blatant just advertising never works.
Yeah, I always tell people, hey, you're coming on the show, we're having a conversation, we're just gonna let it flow wherever it goes. The questions that I'm gonna ask you are probably the same questions that are in the heads of the audience, because I don't know a whole lot about them when they come on the show, other than maybe a little brief bio I do at the beginning. That's it. And then, half the time, I get some pretty amazing guests, and they just rock it, and I don't have a niche. So I might have an author on one day. I've had Drew on before, and I mean, and the best interview was actually after we stopped recording. But, you know, the whole thing is I don't have a niche, so wherever it goes. Cole came on the show. We talked about sports. We talked about just whatever, and that's the way the show's always gone. Then you get these little bastards that think they're going to come on and pitch their shit all over the place. I'm like, nah, this ain't. No, if you can go. I'll kill it.
Right.
And I've killed 3 live streams. I'm doing a live show. I've killed it. And just like, I don't need you. And I've clicked them out and killed their feed. And then I just continue with the show as a rant. Just go on about who that was that just was on the show trying to fuck with my show. So.
Funny you should say ranting. Speaking of which.
I find it funny when you get a guest on and they, like, I don't know if you've ever had to redo an interview because you've had tech issues where it's not recorded or whatever.
Right.
And the second time they come on, they fucking cry at the same bit of the story. It's like they're doing the same performance. And you're like sitting there and you're thinking, no one else has fucking seen this but me.
Right.
Why are you doing that shit? I had that on my old show and I called the person on it. I was like, this is the second time we've done this interview. And she went, yep, it is, and everything. And I was like, yeah. Why the fuck do you keep crying at the same bit? This shit happened to you like 30 years ago and it wasn't that fucking dramatic.
Oh my God. Like super rehearsed.
Yeah. This was someone that thought they grew up in a fucking Auntie Toos or some shite.
I think people like you guys, though, I mean, when you people that interview athletes or people that interview Hollywood stars and stuff like that, we've all seen it, you know, watch the Olympics. Every one of them has a fucking sob story. They don't even talk about that athlete unless they got some crazy ass sob story. Right. Same thing with Hollywood, you know, I mean, every one of them, they grew up in a poor family and then they went this route and they struggled through acting school and blah blah blah. You know what? Fuck, who cares? Look where you're at now. Fuck what happened then. You're in the fucking moment. The past is done. It's over with. Stop fucking crying about it. Just fucking get it on.
Yeah. It's really sad that you now make 30 million a movie to pretend for a living.
Man, I mean, you
make 30 ditches, you know what I mean?
I mean, you 30 million a movie. If I was a woman and made $30 million per movie, I would like paper mache a dildo with $100 bills. You know, just.
It's quite interesting where your head went there.
Right.
That kind of says quite a lot about you.
Oh wait, I didn't even get to what I was going to do for the guy. I mean, hell, you can make a fifi out of a couple $100 bills. For me, I don't even need a full $100 bill. I just, but it's half $100 bill. A 50, no, half $100 bill.
Yeah, if I was getting 30 million a movie, I'd probably slap a lot more people. I'd go that route. I would just become the biggest arsehole on the planet. I'd be like slapping everyone. Like going to fucking airport and when my plane isn't boarding when I wanted to board, I'll be like slapping the staff. And then throwing money at them to shut them up.
I'd be like, oh, hey, paparazzi, come on over. Let's take a selfie together. Yeah, look at that. It's me, paparazzi, taking dude, quit touching my dick.
I'd probably go the Sean Penn route and stab one of them.
Sean Connery.
Allegedly.
Oh man, I heard a rumor about him and David Carradine doing the whole freaking choking themselves out. That's fucked up.
The old-fashioned jokey wank. Yeah, I do not know why anyone finds that a turn on. I'm going to almost kill myself while masturbating.
Oh, David Carradine.
Exhilarating.
David Carradine commit suicide. Yeah, no, he didn't. Accident.
Yeah.
The one time he takes Viagra.
Is that the real behind the story of Chris Cornell there? The stuff they wouldn't tell you.
That's fucking twice I've laughed at him dying. That's quite bad.
It just happened.
Like 2 episodes ago, I was talking about the fact I'm about to relaunch my Drew Carson show. It's coming to YouTube. He was going to be my first guest. And I was telling that story, and I started laughing at the fact I now have to book another guest. I didn't mean to. It's just where my mind goes. It was funny. I was like, it's really shitty of him killing himself. But no, I have to book a fucking guest. You know, you could have waited a couple of weeks.
You don't even have to make $30 million a movie. You're already the biggest dick I know.
He heard he was going to be on the Drew Carson show, so he hung himself from a doorway.
I'm thinking that's possibly a thing because let's see, I have had Christopher Lee booked, and then a couple of weeks later he died.
Oh my god!
Chris
Cornell,
Cornell,
157.
Yeah, but still,
I'll be dead here before 2018 because I've been on his show so goddamn many fucking.
Why'd I keep booking you?
And Drew's trying to fucking kill me.
Yeah, I'm trying to do you guys a favor. I've been trying to book Donald Trump here.
This is going to be like Final Destination now. I'm going to have to keep my head on a swivel.
No, apparently only Chris's die after or before going on Drew's show.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
My co-host didn't come on then.
Yeah, your co-host. I'm eventually. I'm just too stupid to die. I can't figure out how to work a knot. But
so you tried to do the choky thing, but you just kept slipping out of it.
Yeah. Oh, apparently, you're not supposed to use a size 48 belt, and they don't have enough notches.
Not so much a choky wank as a slumpy wank, as you've wouldn't know.
There's the name for this show.
Slumpy wank.
Wow. The slumpy wank for 12.
Chris, is this fucker just started watching? Who's your worst ever interview? I don't know, take your pick. Any of the ones I've offended.
You're watching it right now.
Yeah. You're watching it.
Who's the worst person you've had on your shows?
Yeah,
just call them out. It's not like you're going to have them back on if they were shit, so you might as well call them out.
I've only had a few interviews, and I think they've all gone great. I've had a couple on I had Marty McCoy of Boba Flex, or a rock band, and that was like a kind of struck by the headlights kind of a thing. Like, I'm using the show to the best of my advantage to get to these bands that I really like to interview them. So even if the interview does go poorly, I don't see it that way because I get to talk to these guys.
Did you get free tickets?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I honestly haven't had one go south on me yet, but like I said, we're still really young. So,
what about you, Chris?
Oh man, just on just in the last year, it's actually surprising. The worst interview I thought, the worst person to give an interview on the show, I thought, was actually someone who was inducted into the Podcast Hall of Fame, Gary Leland. He has the Horse Network and all that kind of shit. Or he does, or not the Horse Network. He does, it's the Horse Network, and he does a softball show and this and that. Guy in Podcast Hall of Fame, started podcasting in 2006, and his audio was shit. He wasn't prepared to even come on. He's like, who the fuck is this guy? This guy's just a small fry guy. He don't mean shit to me. And then we get talking in the interview, And he's like, so, and I asked him, I said, so when did you start podcasting? He goes, 2006. He goes, when did you do your first podcast? I said, podcast? I said, shit, I didn't do an actual podcast until after 2004 when they started calling podcasts. I said, before that, I was doing audio blogs for the South Dakota National Guard. And I said, before that, I was doing radio and television. So he goes, oh, so you've been around this thing for a little while, huh? And I'm like, I've done a little bit here and there. So we go through the interview, and it sounds like if I was in the other room talking into the mic, that's what it sounded like, real hollow, real tinny. And we get about halfway through the interview, and I push pause on the recording. I say, hey, look, I said, I know you're living off of this podcast Hall of Fame thing. I said, but can you at least freaking act like a professional? I said, there's no way in hell I would have had you come on my show had I known that you're going to sound like shit. You were just going to be, blow off every question that I was asking you. I would never have asked you to come on the show. He goes, well, why don't we just stop the show right here? So we did. His show is a 23-minute show. I actually aired it. And it's a 23-minute show. And everybody else that went through the Podcasters Guild podcast series, they're all like 40 minutes, hour. Dave Jackson was fucking phenomenal. Ray Ortega was amazing. Brian Wright absolutely crushed it. But yeah, the one guy who's a podcast Hall of Fame inductee was a piece of shit.
I was gonna say you should have pretended to pause it and then done that and aired the rest of that. That would have been glorious.
Yeah, no, I've got this thing. I will not make somebody look worse than they're already making themselves look.
Fair.
So, if they're making themselves look like an ass, I'll let them look like an ass. But I am not going to do anything to make them look like an ass, because I don't want them going out and saying, "Yeah, I went on Raw and Real, and that host was just a cunt."
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm far too professional to do that to a guest.
No, you'll call them the cunt before you even get started. It was
Yeah,
right.
at the
let
stage.
them know their place.
There you go. So who's your worst interview?
Me, I don't know. You could take your pick. I've had quite a few. If you look at the notorious episodes of the first podcast I was doing, there's 15 that got pulled from iTunes, and they were all pulled because of complaints, which I think were from the publicists and agents for the people I interviewed, which I didn't know was you could actually have happened to you. But there's an infamous episode with Dirk Benedict where he tried to hold me up for money.
What?
And he basically asked for, I can't remember, was it 15 grand or something, or 5 grand or something to do the
Interview him?
episode. And I basically went, I ain't fucking paying you. And he was like, well, you're not getting to use this. And I went, I should have fucking booked Mr. T. Because I thought that was funny because he was in the A-team as well. And then I started saying stuff like, beautiful, they did book Mr. T. And I put that up. It was 9-minute interview with a rant around it of me basically calling him a cunt. That's probably my worst. I had some that weren't as exciting as I thought they would be, or as interesting as I thought they would be. I had others that I didn't have an inkling that they would actually be any good. I had the actress Kelly Hu on that I was like, this is probably going to be shit. Because it was on my best behaviour, really trying not to swear. But, she swore on the second thing she said on the episode. And I was like, well, it must be fucking free reign then. So I just started. But I've had people that don't even know their own resume for what they've been in. She asked them about a film they've been in, and they're like, "Was I in that?" And you're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake! What the fuck are you supposed to do with this?"
Yeah,
That'd be like interviewing Sean Connery. He's been in so many damn movies, he probably doesn't remember freaking a quarter of them.
right.
You would just ask him, "Who's the most famous woman you've beat up?" "I won your wife." Allegedly.
You throw that allegedly in.
Fuck him. He probably doesn't like me. I threatened to be up his son once. So Jason Connery was an actor. He was in a film I was on the crew of, and he threw hot coffee on a cameraman's face. It was a friend of mine. And the cameraman was a complete pussy and pussed out of saying anything. So I stepped up to tell him what I thought of what he did and that I was going to kick his head in if he fucking tried it with me. And he got me sacked. But I allegedly keyed his car when I was leaving. So, Jason Connery, if you're watching.
Oh my God.
You know,
That's
it's
incredible.
funny. I mean, we sit here on the show now. This is the second time I've been on the show, and I've said some pretty nasty shit about certain people, and I've never had any backlash yet. So you know nobody's fucking watching this shit.
Yeah, pretty much. The good thing is that the only person who's given me bad feedback so far was... Oh, who was it? Someone that was going to come on my podcast and then pulled out because they saw a live stream. I can't remember now. Some arsehole horror actor. Anyway, they were like all excited about coming on my show, and then they watched the episode that was CJ and Cole and me, and were offended by something I said on that.
They were offended by something you said?
Yeah.
That's surprising. I thought you were pretty tame in that show.
I was on my best behaviour, I thought. I had been critiqued from the week before. The week before, someone had counted how many times I said fuck on the show, and it was 73. So I thought I better tame it down a little bit. And then
I did 173.
I think I did 30 something. So it was half.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't even think I told a story on that was particularly offensive.
Oh, no, you didn't. It was more or less me and freaking Cole kind of John back and forth and stuff because, well, all the technical issues, we kind of talked about that, but then I don't know how it came up, but Cole started talking politics and it's like, oh, fuck me. Here we go. Because I hate politics.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's the one topic, although it's supposed to be uncensored and anything goes, politics is the one thing I try to veer away from.
Yeah, because it's the boring. Like, it's the same shit.
It's
the
boring,
question came up,
but it's also you piss off half your audience. And if you've only got 2 viewers, that's a lot.
that too.
That's true too. 2 viewers, not one of them.
Yeah, it was fun being on the show with Cole though. It was absolutely fantastic. And the question, the questions he would pop back into with questions like you kind of want to sit back and just be like, where the fuck did that come from, Cole?
Yeah.
But
the one clip I was watching, you guys, you're talking about listening to the shows with your wives.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Well, my wife hates Raw and Real. She fucking hates that show. But she loves Grit and Grace.
Okay.
Grit and Grace that's like audio porn. I mean, there's no better way. I mean, last week we're talking about, how to spice shit up in the bedroom, and next week coming up, we're going to be talking about polyamory and orgies and threesomes and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's like, and I'm like, my wife is watching this stuff, and I'm like, Ron Real is way more tame than this.
Right. That's very risque.
But I mean, and this show is like just all about, it's like, whoa, stuff that most people kind of shy away from talking about. But yeah, we talk about it. It's just like, hey, should we talk about squirting? Let's talk about it. What do you want to know?
Go for it. I can't do it.
Right? Like, yeah, what do you want to talk about? If Has it happened to you? Well, no, but have you ever made somebody? Well, yeah. Okay, let's talk about it. Oh man, this is going to be the most fucked up episode of the Haver yet.
It's an honor and a privilege.
Oh yeah.
The funny thing is, out of all the stuff I do, this is the one thing my mum fucking watches.
Oh, sorry, Drew's mom.
So,
Didn't mean to talk about cunts and squirting and all that kind of stuff.
hi, mum. Can't. I'll probably get slapped in the back of the head next time I'm through.
Oh God, I hope you do. I hope you do. And then spit when you do it and say, "Oh, I squirted." Oh, I'm going to.
I think my last show was too tame for either of my parents to listen to. I was far too polite on it. It was the moment I stopped giving a fuck that they started enjoying my stuff, I think. Ironically, the moment I stopped giving a fuck, that's when the ratings went. So that's a lesson to you.
Yeah. Note to self.
Well, the lesson I've learned was the Drew Carson show was doing like 18,000 downloads a week
Oh my God.
at the end, and I was like getting quite burnt out on that show because it was such a fucking slog talking to publicists and, you know, the type of people I was going to be interviewing at the time. The publicists were all scumbag arseholes pushing, you know, people that have been like a fucking corpse on CSI to you to interview first before you can get someone bigger. You know what I mean? You're like, what am I going to fucking ask them about their career? Was the fucking table cold when you were lying on it?
How do you look like you're not breathing all the time?
Yeah. And so I stopped doing it. I started doing the one I'm doing now, and it's been quite a slow build of finding an audience. It's like every time I get good numbers, I seem to offend someone along the way. I offended a feminist on Twitter, which cost me downloads.
That's not hard to do, though.
No. To be fair, I titled one of my episodes poorly.
Okay.
Although the word I used is a word that could be used in the context I used it for, but it offended her because I was talking about the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, and I called the episode "The Raping of Elm Street," and that offended her. Yeah, I should have thought that through a little bit more.
Next time you need some marketing advice, just give me a call. I'll help you through that.
That was literally like 5,500 feminists attacking me on Twitter after that.
Holy
Wow.
Christ.
And I was like, this is great. This is publicity. Someone's got to notice this. No.
Just more feminists who buried you.
Yeah. And I also learned you shouldn't ever talk back.
Jesus.
Not on Twitter.
No. It's like when someone says something, say, I'll take that under advisement or something. Don't go, well, here's the fucking dictionary definition of the word. And here's here's the way I used it, the context I used it in. It fits the fucking dictionary context, so fuck you. That's not the stand to take. You don't do that.
Oh shit.
Yep. That's the lessons I've learned so far.
Well, hey, it sounds like they're pretty good.
I'm thinking about doing an ebook. It's going to be called How Not to Podcast, and it's going to be all the stupid shit I've done so other people don't do it.
You have no idea how good that would probably go over.
Yeah.
That would probably, if you needed to build an email list, that would be how to do it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Because people would get drawn to that just because. I mean, there's so much parody into that it just, yeah, that would be a brilliant ebook.
There was a great little Scottish podcast that went, I think, 12, 13 episodes before it got cancelled, called Four Cunts. And it's just four Scottish guys talking shit about what was in the paper that week. And the reason it ended was one of the guys' wives didn't like the name of it. So it was End Your Podcast or Divorce. That guy should write the How Not to Podcast book.
Yeah.
Don't put cunt in the title of your show.
Yeah, you can say it all you want, just can't put it in the title.
No, iTunes don't like that. On the flip side, if you just don't say that your show's got swearing in it, iTunes don't seem to fucking know any different. So you can just say it's clean.
Oh, really?
Plenty of people that have done that, yeah.
Oh, no.
No, I was doing that for a while. Oh, I put explicit at the beginning, and now that my show is fairly clean,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of episodes now you don't hear a single cuss word, and they still put explicit on the dang thing. Like,
it's crazy because what I learned was if your show's explicit, you cut yourself off from quite a lot of different markets like India, China.
Well, you can't.
You say fuck in India.
That's not true. I made the mistake of doing that on this other guy, this this Big Live show. There's been a huge influx of Pakistani and Indian users on Be Live, and they want to interview anybody. It's like, oh, can I be on your show? No, you can't be on my show. You don't have a story. Would you come on my show? Sure, I'll come on your show. So then I go on the show, and this guy's, I'd like to introduce you to the world famous CJ Ripka. I'm like, world famous where? Fuck you. And he goes,
thank you.
He's like, oh, don't say that. Like,
did you do the accent when you were on the show?
I was like, what the? Like, then we're in the episode, and he's asking me, so what do you think of Pakistani? I'm like, what am I supposed to think of you guys? I mean, you guys were hiding terrorists when we were trying to fucking kill them. What do you want me to say? I'm a soldier. They were shooting at me from Pakistan. You guys kind of pissed me off when I couldn't go in there and just fuck them up. I mean, just saying. So what am I supposed to think of Pakistan? I mean,
but other than that, 5 stars on TripAdvisor.
I'm saying what I should have said. So yeah. So instead of saying that, I say, yeah, you guys never done nothing to me. That was where I left it. I couldn't, and he's expecting me to say, oh yeah, you guys are nice. What do you think of the Pakistanis? I'm like, hey, you guys are cool dudes, man. I mean, I think you guys should all come to the United States. Really fuck with Donald Trump. I mean, come on. You know? Oh shit, CIA is gonna be coming through my door pretty soon because I talk shit. Oh hell. But no, it was funny because I dropped the F-bomb a couple of times, and every time I dropped the F-bomb, he was wearing this guy is wearing this like aviator sunglasses, like the Tom Cruise aviator sunglasses. And he's like, I wish I could paint the picture for you, but you know, a little tiny guy, looked like a little hobbit or something. He's got these big giant aviator sunglasses on that are like 2 sizes too big for his face. He's like, so Mr. CJ. Like, yeah, Fathead. I couldn't say his name, so I kept calling him Fathead, and I was like, and then finally I was like, he asked me a question about when I started live streaming, and I said, I don't know. I suppose I've been live streaming for about, you know, a fucking year now, and all of a sudden the sunglasses come down. His eyes are like this big, as big as the sunglasses were. It's like, oops. Apparently, you're not supposed to say fuck in Pakistan.
It's one of those things. So if he doesn't do his research, it's his own fucking fault. It's like I did a horror live stream, and the guy hosting it had U-Ball on. Now, if you've listened to my podcast at all, you know I think U-Ball's films are shit. and that he's the worst filmmaker of all time. So on the show, he asked me, what do I think of you Ball's career? And I was like, what career? What do you think of his films? And I went, I've seen better film on teeth. And then you Ball started threatening me that he was going to fight me and stuff. So I just started calling him limp dick and stuff like that. Because I was desperate to get him to leave the live stream, so I wanted him to leave first. So I was just calling him everything I could think of, piss him off. And then for like 5 minutes straight, I was just sitting going like this. What's he going to do?
I would love to be the promoter for that show that's done live, where you and whoever the other guest is. I mean, I'll either promote it or host it. Either way, I don't. And then I'll referee it because I know where it's going to end up with like, okay, here's Drew Carson. He's the host of Terra Firma Podcast and the Haver. And over here we have. You're gonna get fucked up, dude. I'm just gonna tell you. Let's get ready to. You're gonna get fucked up. I'm just telling you. Yeah, I can see that one. That would be a fun episode.
If you can't be offensive, what's the point?
Right, exactly. You want to be genuine too.
Yeah, but it's like all these people are like the podcast that are trying to be nice to everyone. You're not going to like everyone. Why do it? Why fake it?
Right.
It's like when I write stuff like "Don't be a spammy dick" in the PDC. That's my actual opinion. Don't be a spammy dick, because I will direct message you and give you shit about it.
See, there's my proof right there. Anthony and Scott, if you're watching this, here's my proof right there that I was not a spammy dick. Drew Carson never private messaged me ever. So fuck you. Fuck you.
I've done it quite a few times to folk. I've just been like, there's certain days of the week you're supposed to put your shit up and that's it. Stop being a cunt. I don't want my phone to keep me fucking pinging with your shitey fucking links to your shit shows that no fucker watches.
You know, I love to change that up because my phone used to die when they'd put in I had to unfollow them. I mean, I was still part of the group, but I had to unfollow because my phone would be dead by fucking lunch because everyone's putting up their shit. And I'm like, man, damn.
I was talking to a guy in another podcasting group, and he said someone asked him advice. He said, "What would you do if you were me with my podcast?" And he said, "I'd just fucking stop doing it. It's shit."
Oh, man.
And I was thinking, that's great advice.
You know, that's the funny thing is for the longest time I was in the PDC. I bet you for 8-9 months before I went on Scott's show, and that whole time before I went on Scott's show, nobody knew, you know, what I'd done before. They didn't know my background or anything like that. So me and Cody Boyce used to get into freaking just brawls, you know, talking about audio, and he's like, "Oh, you got to use this DAW, and you got to use this, you know, focus right, blah blah blah." And like, dude, shut the fuck up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. He's like, "Oh no, I'm an audio engineer." I'm like, whatever. Yeah, okay, you're an audio engineer. Fuck off. And then I would go rounds. I mean, just rounds about stupid shit. And I'd tell people the most simple, basic way to do something, and he'd jump all over it. No, that's not how you do it. And then finally it came out on Scott's show when I called out, right after I called out the fact that all these podcast coaches are coming out after doing freaking 20 episodes. And he's like, "Well, you know, how long have you been doing this?" I said, "I started doing this shit in 2003, man." He's like, "What?" So then the cat was out of the bag after that. I was like, okay, the guy kind of understands what's, you know, I mean, I remember when freaking mixers were still analog, you know, we didn't have fucking USB mixers. So, so he's like, okay.
It's always funny. It's always funny to me when people start fucking bitching and moaning back and forth with each other about the audio stuff in the group. And it's like, you can have the greatest equipment in the world, but if you've got no fucking personality, why would anyone listen to your podcast?
No kidding.
Right.
So take some of that money you would be spending on audio equipment and go get some fucking acting lessons, or go on Night Suit and get a fucking life so you can start talking about it.
You got to be entertaining. Fuck.
It's like the golf clubs. Doesn't make a difference to the good clubs if you're a shitty golfer.
I mean, shit. Right here, this is a freaking, I don't know, $50 shotgun mic. $50. Here's a $50 Blue Snowball, and here's a $200 freaking Audio Technica. It doesn't fucking matter what you're. See, it doesn't matter what freaking equipment you got. All it matters is that you can have a good time and you can keep people entertained for 20, 30, 40 minutes. Hell, you don't even have to be entertaining the whole show. Just be entertaining once in a while.
I did at least 5 episodes when I swapped from my old mic to that one, where I hadn't set that one up on fucking Skype. So it was just using the mic on my fucking desktop. I was like editing it and I'm like, why does it sound so shit? Never once thought to look. That's podcasting.
I guarantee, so listening to your show tonight, I guarantee you, if you had somebody like Cody or somebody listen to your show, they would be all over your guys' sound, because you have like one person on a mic and it sounds like 2 people are sharing a mic over here, and it sounds like you got someone way back in the background that you usually kind of way back in the background shouting at everybody else. And, I was listening to it, I'm like, I like this sound. I like the way that it's like got this dynamic sound. It sounds like there's freaking mayhem going on in there.
Always.
And it sounds great though. I thought the sound is fine, but you asked some audio file, if I took it to my buddy Ray is, if you don't have that perfect sound, that perfect, your levels are set right, your EQ is set perfect. If you don't have that sound, he's just like, oh, I can't listen to this. I can't listen to this. I just, what kind of guy I am. I'm an audiophile. I'm like, no, you're a freaking dumbass, because that was a great show.
Right, yeah. When I start making a dime off the podcast, then I'll put more work into the EQ.
Anything that separates you from the next guy's podcast is always good, even if it's your levels aren't right. That guy's levels might be right, but he's probably an absolute arsehole. And I'll be honest, if Cody ever called me out in the group saying your audio shit, I'd tell him to cunt off. Because I don't give a fuck if he listens to my show. In fact, I don't want you to. You know what I mean? Spin on that.
That should be the tag for this episode. Don't listen to this. I don't want you to.
That's marketing 101 right there. Fuck you guys, don't watch.
Yeah.
Cut the shit off right now. I promise you, it gets worse.
It's like
the only people that get that kind of humor though would actually freaking be watching this anyways. He's not that fun.
It's those people I would only have on this show to take the piss out. I don't even think I could be sociable and nice in the green room before it. I would be a dick the whole time. The messages on Facebook Messenger would be, all right, you cunts, we're going live in an hour. You're going to get fucked.
But of all the people in the PDC, Cody's probably the only one that can come close to looking you straight in the eye.
Yeah.
He's 6'6" or something, 6'7" or something like that too. He's a tall prick also. I just like giving shit to tall people because, and that's pretty much everybody because Christ.
Yeah.
I'm built like Chuck Knobloch, 5'6" and 220 pounds. Only no juice. Only
Yeah,
maybe.
I bet your batting average could be just about as good.
You know, actually in college and in AA, my batting average was better. So, see, that's the other thing that's kind of cool is because I went on Cole's show. He's in. We started talking about when I was in college and I played college baseball, and then I went to played semi-pro baseball, and then I went up and played with St. Cloud Saints and the Rochester Pheasants, and all these little semi-pro Northern League teams and stuff like that. And he's like, no kidding. Wow. I mean, I love the way he says that too. He's like, wow.
Yeah.
Dude, I told you this before the show. It's not that big of a surprise anymore.
It's like equal parts sounds amazed, but also sounds like he's being sarcastic as fuck.
Yeah. Whether or not he's like being like,
it's like, wow, you played for that shit team.
Yeah.
Wow.
You hit a little white ball for a living. Wow.
yeah. It's like, dude, you do a sports show. Yeah, but we're on a talk show.
It's like when folk interview me and they're like, you sold a screenplay to Hollywood like 10 years ago and it got made into a movie. Wow. What have you done since?
What do I need to do? Fuck, it's freaking Hollywood. Yeah, they made the damn movie. Did you ever? It's like, yeah. Did you ever actually do anything that made it big? Well, I made a movie for Hollywood. Okay, so what did you do that was big?
Yeah.
That fucking Hollywood, not Bollywood, you bitch.
I managed to get my name taken off it. That's what I did. That was pretty big.
It's pretty bad that the writer has to get his name taken off because the guy that was making the movie was so shit.
That and the script itself was pretty shit, to be honest. I think out of all the scripts I've ever written, that one took the least amount of time.
And it's the only one that went to Hollywood.
Yeah, it was like one of those ones where it was like a 2-shit script. Like that. Wrote it on the box. It was like a 2-shit script.
You know, a movie's bad when you actually get up in the theater, go out, come back, and you're kind of disappointed that this movie's still going. So you get back up again, you go out, you take a shit this time, hoping it's going to take longer, and the movie will be over by the time you get back.
You know, a movie's bad when the person that's been in contact with you about the movie the whole time is excited because Vern Troyer's going to be in it.
Who?
And you're like, what, that guy that's about the size of my shoe? That's a big star. Who's he playing? Because I don't remember writing any of the dwarfs in it. Is he playing that character in the movie that was 6'2" in the script? Are you just cutting off the 6-foot part of it?
Apparently, the producer was dyslexic. He's seen 2'6", not 6 foot.
Yeah, it was one of those amazing movies where they could afford him for 2 days, but he's got his face on the poster and he's in like 3 scenes. You're like, this is just shit. It's like, what the fuck?
The whole trailer is nothing but him, but he's only in 3 scenes.
Yeah.
Paid him in smack or something, allegedly.
Pay him in whatever the hell they want, I guess. I mean, I heard he was a little prick, though.
I made the joke once on a podcast, and this got me a shitload of hate, so I'll repeat it here. I made a joke about, I wondered how far I could kick him. Because he's only little, so I was like, I could kick a field goal with him.
No, it'd be like kicking a medicine ball for you.
Yeah. People don't like jokes like that on the internet. Who knew?
You don't like a lot of things on the internet.
It's like they were fine with the fact that the guy that was on the show with me said that Vern Troyer was smaller than his dick, and that his dick was tiny. We were fine with that joke, but not jokes about kicking him.
Like if you're gonna find that joke funny, you have to find like the entire spectrum. Like you can't draw a line in the sand in these like blue crude jokes, and it's just like no, that I don't find funny. I don't understand it. I'll never understand that.
I also don't understand how a horror audience can find anything offensive. You're watching people getting stabbed to death in movies.
Yeah. You enjoy it when people's intestines are strewn about a street. Like, how are you not liking jokes? They're words.
Yeah. Use Vern as a fifi, but don't comment about him being a freaking soccer ball. Anyways, wow, we totally destroyed this show for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed this.
We probably need to end it on a higher note than that, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Anyone got anything that's remotely uplifting to say?
More uplifting than if we could kick a field goal with Vern Troyer. I don't know how you're going to top that one.
Right, yeah. I mean, other than... we learned that cunt is a good word.
Yeah, across the pond.
Yeah, but only across the pond.
Right.
And we learned that twat is acceptable, for use instead of cunt. And we learned that I can masturbate with half $100 bill. I mean, what the hell?
What's it? Slumpy wank? Is that what it was?
Slumpy wank. I think this episode of The Havers effectively just destroyed all three of our podcasting careers.
Wait, Slumpy Wank, that was your nickname in Double A Ball, right?
Yeah, I couldn't hit the curve. I just couldn't. Oh no. If I destroyed anything, we probably did destroy our podcast with this episode. At least for the 4 people that will watch this.
Oh, it'll be 37 because that's how many watched the last one.
Oh, fuck me. I can't afford 37. What the fuck were you thinking?
Oh, fucking hell. Dude, this is basically like, I'm supposed to be using this as a show reel to get celebrities on the Drew Carson show when it comes back. That's going to work well.
Hey.
I guess you can cross Vern Troyer off the list.
Right.
It's too fucking short to see him on the webcam anyway.
No, you can just sit on a chair. Like I got a boosty seat under me. I mean, I'm good.
Yeah, a couple phone books.
Yeah. Surprised they still make those, by the way.
Well, I think we'll wrap it up, seeing as it's gone to shit. So if you just say who you are, name your shows, pimp them out a wee bit before we leave. This is as professional as I get for queuing up this type of stuff.
Sure. I mean, I already plugged in the beginning. It's the Ranting and Raving podcast. I'm Sandwich or Steve or whatever the hell you want. If you liked what you heard, which I don't know if you did, we're on iTunes, we're on Patreon, we're on everything. So just find us at Ranting Podcast and enjoy.
And I'm Chris from the Ranting Podcast.
After Ron Reel's canceled, he's going to need a job. So.
No, I'm CJ, and I am the host of Raw and Real. Thank you, guys. I hope we entertained you a little bit. Come on, you can't take us serious. We're just a bunch of guys out here trying to have fun, trying to give you a little bit of something to laugh about, and hopefully, at some point in our meager little existence, somebody will say, "Hey, I like those guys. I want to listen to more." So, till next time, everybody. I'll be seeing you.
And once again, Cody Boyce. don't give a fuck.